not because I'm a crazy swifty and all this. I think she's talented. But also, this woman now, although she might not be a conservative, she's living a conservative storyline.
Oh, yeah.
Right? She's engaged to the football player. She's getting married. She has lyrics about how, nope, she's actually about marriage. And I think it's beautiful. I think it's wonderful. I think that the conservative movement, although she might have lefty politics, I think we can now hijack Taylor Swift. Because she's one of us now, whether she knows it or not.
I respect her. My daughter, excuse me, is 11 years old. So we watched a documentary on Taylor Swift, and she writes all of her own stuff. You know, most other, performers out there, it's just handed to them and they go from there. From her, it's very personal. So, yeah, you're right. This is an American success story like we've never seen. This is a generational talent that we have not seen, I think, since Michael Jackson, quite frankly.
They're claiming you, girl. Whatever you did, like all those dog whistles, all those racist dog whistles, all those trad wife little, they hear it. We hear it, but even they hear it. Speaking their language, dude. They know, they hear it all. This is how they talk. You're speaking their language. And this thing, somebody said, and I don't remember where I saw it, so someone please give credit. Someone said, are we watching the J.K. Rowlingization of Taylor Swift? Because she comes on the internet and says, the rule of show business is if it's the first week of my album release and you're saying either my name or my album title, you're helping. All right, well, I guess I'm helping, unfortunately. One way to look at it. I actually believe that all of this mess is hopefully going to force some, not enough, but some white women to be more intersectional, because your queen embodies all the things that is wrong with us in terms of just the girl bossing, being a man, being a white man to deal with patriarchy instead of really dismantling the system. In terms of bullying, in terms of sending your audience, your digital mob after people with less power, artists with less power, like having petty fights, bullying, like talking about your football player's boyfriend's schlong, talking about his ex, who you seem obsessed with, using racist dog whistles, and talking like a trad wife. All of that is very, very concerning. Rather than not responding at all and just let people, you know what, maybe misunderstand you, you come in here and you shame all. You're like, okay, you helping me. And she even said in this interview, I have such an eye on legacy when I'm making my music. I know what I made. I know I adore it. Well, I'm glad someone does, other than MAGA. And I know that on the theme of what the Showgirl is, all of this is part of it. Okay. I'm not even going to show you the whole clip because I think I might get copyright infringement. This entire panel was like, yeah, this guy's the only one who was indifferent because he was like, I don't really know much about her. But she brings people together. But these two, oh boy, this woman loves her, especially now that she's all about marriage and living on a cul-de-sac with people who look just like her. I'm sorry, him. I also talked about not wanting to be like the police of art. Okay. But the way that she gets stuff taken down or what, like she has plenty of little cops out there policing people who criticize her art. And it's really funny because if you see this headline, like the BBC or some of the other ones, they don't give you the full quote. And when I went on YouTube to watch this interview, the full quote on the Jimmy Fallon show, subtitles are not available. So BBC, they kind of wrapped it up all nice and, what on the Fox News, they did it a little different. They gave most of the quote. When talking about being approached for possibly doing it, why is able to tell him the truth? Jay-Z, I guess. Which is that I am in love with a guy who does the sport on that actual field. Okay? This man is already insecure enough. Do you want me to upstage him in his little arena? Because I already make more money than him. I'm more famous than him. I got more fans than him. More followers on all social media than him. You mean you want me to go out in his field where he's the big king baby and outshine him there? No way. And she talked about what football is. That's violent chess This is gladiators without swords. Honey, I love that you think of this as gladiator. And yeah, like good luck with this dude if he does have all that brain injury from getting hit all the time. I mean, you know that these guys who come out of football end up like becoming serial unalivers and stuff. Like, this is no joke, okay? The brain issue thing. I don't want to downplay that. But like, do you want him to go off to war? Is this what it is? It's dangerous. I'm sorry, she's not Southern. As someone from Nashville, as a chick from Pennsylvania, came to my city and became a country. Okay, whatever. I hate country music, but the whole season, I am locked in on what that man is doing on the. You know, I really wish he was more locked in on your career. How many concerts has he been to? I see him flying all over the place for you, like you flying all over for him. Oh, okay, he's got to play football. Okay. How many concerts has he been to? I would love to know, because you are locked in on him, but he's not locked in. He showed up to one in his own town, gave you a friendship bracelet, and that's romantic. And then his daddy revealed to us that when it came to the proposal, he needed to get it done. Get what done? The business deal that secures hundreds of millions in podcasts, contracts, and TV shows. The dude is on TV now. I don't want to see him as an actor. What the hell? God, I can't believe he got into Hollywood this easy. Dating show is enough. Catching Kelsey. This man thinks he's the prize. He always has. And now all this that you're doing is definitely going to confirm that. Can you imagine if he's out there every single week putting his life on the line? What a warrior. His life on the line for what? There's a lot of people putting their life on the line right now against ICE. And things that matter. But okay. His life on that. God, y'all. This is what happened. Like, okay, I am not like, I don't know a whole lot about her. Everything I have learned about her has been against my will. You know, I'm Gen X. Also just whatever, don't care. Grow up with her, still don't care about. But what I do care about is her impact on the world. Like her carbon footprint. You know, like how she is the perfect personification of white woman victimhood, right? That is what we're so good at. Doesn't mean we're not ever victims. Of course we are. But that's all we are. That is literally how we have terrorized black people in the United States, is being victims. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I highly recommend you learn history of the South, especially, and white women's key role in using our victimization, which is you almost always false allegations, if not always, to terrorize the black community. Like, this is what we have been taught, like overtly or like subtly for a really long time, whether you grew up in the South or not. Victim, 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 victim. That is our power, is being a victim, right? We use it all the time. We get people fired. That's where the Karen stuff comes from. Even though white men took over that term and ruined it, they just use it as a way to be misogynistic. It's a very valid historical term based on what we do. And like, this is what she does. Like, everything is about her being a victim of patriarchy. But it stops there. She is a predator being a billionaire. As a white woman, she's also dangerous. And instead of using that privilege for good things, she uses it to, what? Go after the ex? Avoid saying literally anything about anything important, including genocide, ICE, anything happening right now, which is complete shit. The whole Americana, whatever the hell that Netflix was, it was like this big, huge decision, you know, to go against daddy, so, you know, and say she supported Hillary. And at the last minute, she said she supported Kamala. Great. That's like, like, that's it. I don't expect her to speak on politics much, but her constantly selling stuff. And that damn plane, and then creates an album that is like super problematic and also just dripping in like trad wife stuff. And then it's like, oh my god, high pressure, you know, his job is dangerous, high intensity sport. I'm gonna go out there and dance my silly little dance to minimize your career. Like, I get her sentiment on some level, but to minimize what you do by comparing it to this big heroic like war-like thing. I promise you, she is in better shape than him. You will never convince me that what he does is physically any harder. You know, yeah, he gets hit with all those pads on. It is dangerous to play football because of the head injury stuff, mostly. But you will never convince me that his job is any harder than hers, physically or in any level whatsoever. Pressure-wise, all that stuff. And for her to just be like, why would I do my silly, stupid little thing on the field when that's like his thing? Look what he's doing. Look what he's sacrificing. I'm locked in. Don't ever let a man think you are locked in. All right? Even when you're married, you're not locked in. That's what they want. They think that marriage is the finish line. They don't see it as like the beginning of something. Once you are locked in, baby trapped, reputation on the line. Because here's the thing, okay? Like, Nicole Kidman's going to be fine, okay? She is already looking stunning. Have you seen her? She's going to be fine. That doesn't mean that I am telling you, for somebody who has on a small, tiny level experienced what she experienced, where, you know, I was dating that hobo. I wasn't even ready to go public with it, but he went public with it. So I was like, all right, I guess we're doing this. And then I had felt like it was my first boyfriend. So I was like posting photos with him all the time and like whatever. Do you know, it was so humiliating. I'm not saying you can't ever post photos. I'm not saying you can't ever talk about your boyfriend. But if you talk about him a whole lot and you are just locked in and you're a little cheerleader, like she's literally a cheerleader. This woman who's like maybe one of the most powerful women in the world is lowering herself to being a cheerleader for this man. So, you know, even if the whole world doesn't judge her for whatever he's going to do, which could be cheat, which could be anything, he's probably going to, she is not his type. She's not. I don't know his whole dating history. But you know what? You know what I do? And if you're a white woman who loves Taylor Swift and you're like pissed about all this criticism of her, I need you to trust that when a ton of black women are telling you that something is racist, whether you understand it or not, it is. Let's put our empathy shoes on. If I was talking about something and a bunch of men was like, that's not sexist, and I'm talking about microaggressions, I am talking about these cutting ways that men will control us, cut us down, like stab us, right? That we understand. That actually men understand deep down. Or they don't understand because they've never done it, or they don't understand, they don't get it. If a man said that's not sexist to me about literally anything that my lived experience told me is sexist, I would just be like, fuck off. Fuck you. You don't know what you're talking about. That is how swifties sound right now. You are trying to shut black women up about their valid concerns about this album. Now, I don't know enough about it. Like, go follow people who have an intersectional lens on this and get their opinion. Like, the word savage, when used by a white person, like, God. But anyway, back to what I was saying before. The humiliation that you feel for co-signing what this person does just by dating them, right? Like, if this man ends up being terrible to her, do you know how stupid she's going to feel? She'll probably recover if she hasn't lost half her fan base because of this stuff, of exploiting them and selling them stuff constantly and going MAGA more and more. If that's not who she always was, like, she is sending very subtle and not so subtle signs that that's where she's headed. But if she has any fans left, like, she'll be okay if she has any fans, because, you know what I mean? Like, everyone loves a redemption story. Everyone, like, who hasn't dated someone and was like, oh my God, they were not who I thought they were. It is humiliating though, right? And then people, like, it's the fact that, like, you stood by somebody publicly and we're hyping them. I mean, this is what so many women end up doing. The more we're invested, the more we're invested. There's a mosquito. Sorry. The longer you date, especially if you're married, the more you have to lose. So again, I'm not saying that you can't talk about your partners, but I'm saying, like, Margot Robbie, Scarlett Johansson, I can't, like, there's a lot, I don't know, this is the first who came to top of my mind. You know, like, honestly, I would think that the more she was in love with this man, the less she would want to make her relationship all about. Because she would want to keep it more private, right? Like, she's bringing us into this. Like, I know it's hard to have privacy when you're famous, but also when you have that much money, you can buy some privacy. You have a damn jet that you fly all over the world and killing all of us. By the way, I got my hair cut yesterday. Did y'all like it? She was not even looking at my head while she was talking and cut. Anyway, oh my God, I forgot what I was going to say. God, ADHD brain. She literally sounds like an incel, but a female version. Thinks she's a dork, even though she's like got all that. She's blonde, comes from money, pretty or whatever, thin, and she talks like an incel. Do you know what I mean? She talks from this like I'm a loser, I'm awkward, I'm not a cheerleader. Well, now you are. Now you are. Literally sound like men. Perpetual victims. And like I said before, we have a long history with it. If you don't know what I'm talking about, please, read about this. It is literally one of the reasons why we have such a mess right now, is not knowing our history, or knowing it, but not knowing enough of it, or not wanting to know it, or not dealing with the root issue below it. And, I swear, if Kanye hadn't done that, I don't know if she would have been gotten away with this victim thing for as long as she did. That man screwed us all over so bad by doing that, because it fell right into the tropes. Anyway, let me know y'all think. If you like my work, I have a live today on my Patreon with one of my mutuals. I do watch parties, and I tell my personal stories. I actually talk about my life way more over there. I talk about my family. I talk about my relationship, but I don't do that in the public anymore. You know why? Because people will be crazy, and I want my life more private. And also, my page will always be about me. I'm the main character, not my husband. Never will be the main character in my life or in my work. But this is what she's choosing to do. And she's setting really bad example for women. Back to the whole cheerleader football crap, man. And Fox, well, now she's their little mascot. I almost said scapegoat, but she was. The thing is that they hated her when she was voted for Kamala. But now that she's like getting married to a man who's very affiliated with MAGA and doing all this stuff, now they love her. And like it or not, Taylor, according to them, you're theirs now. So I hope this is not what she wanted, but this is what she got. But maybe this is what she wanted. Who knows? Anyway, like, comment, share, boost, set notifications, all that stuff helps me with me and my work. And if you like it, let me know. Let me know if you heard the comments. Most common song, sorry, I can't do a better song today. I'm studying for nationality. I have my big meeting on Monday. Most common song, most toes common song. Look at these T-Rex arms, or whatever you call paws. Most common song. I got a live tonight. Come if you're on your Patreon. Most common song.